Okay, so today we're going to talk about overshadowing. So you want to remember for your exam that overshadowing means when two stimuli are presented concurrently, only the most salient will get a response. So basically what we mean by that is the horse can't multitask. He can only do one thing at once. And so that means we can actually use overshadowing to habituate him to stimuli that might otherwise be frightening. So there's a sort of flip side to overshadowing. It means that when we apply two signals at once to the horse, one will be habituated to. And so that can be a good thing and a bad thing. So when horses are ridden with heavy bit and leg pressure at the same time, one of those gets habituated to. Whereas we can actually use it to habituate him to things that he's frightened of. So it can be used for both good and evil. So Sophie's going to step this horse forward and backwards to see how light or heavy she is in her responses. 2 out of 10? She's about a 2 out of 10, she says. So what we don't want to happen is we want to do this at such a low threshold that the horse never gets too heavy. So we're just going to see if I come closer with the flag like this is a flag all wrapped up, at what point she actually gets heavier than a 2 out of a 10. But remember, with all training, you want to keep the threshold below the adrenaline level. Is that heavier? That's still good. So I'm going to bring it in a bit closer. And there's lots of things you have to do when you're doing overshadowing. You have to ask yourself which part of the stimuli is she frightened of. Is it, obviously in this case of the flag, it's probably the visual aspect of the stimuli. I'm going to just let her examine it quickly. Yeah, there you go. Alright, so I'm just going to step her forward and backwards. Excellent. So that's a bit heavy there. She's not concentrating on what she's doing. So basically the flag has overshadowed the alert responses. Here we are back again after that little break. So we're doing some overshadowing here with Gigi. And so Sophie's going to grade again her responses, stepping forwards and backwards. So using obviously negative reinforcement, which we've talked about before. Now she's bringing her forward. So she says that's about a 2 out of 10, which is, remember, if you think we've talked about this, that we want all our responses to be about 2 out of 10, because that's the place where the stimuli that we use to elicit the response is not painful or adrenalizing. So 2 out of 10 is good. So I'm going to move this flag closer to her and see if she gets heavier. Yeah, she could actually see completely heavier. So I'm not going to take the flag any further away, but Sophie's just going to quietly step her forward and backwards until she becomes less overshadowed by the flag. So remember, if at this point she removed the flag by running away, that would be negative reinforcement, wouldn't it? She'll have removed a mildly aversive stimulus, and that means the behaviour will be reinforcing. So you can see that although she's obviously overshadowed by it, she's not adrenalised, so remembering that we're always trying to work under threshold, low threshold of adrenaline, so that the horse learns rather than is flooded. So because remembering that flooding is when habituation is done all at once. And flooding is a very relative term for each individual animal, because what is flooding for one animal may not be flooding for another, so you have to watch for the signs of adrenaline and work under that threshold. And the other thing we have to remember with training is that training takes the time that it takes. There's no time frame. So now I'm just touching her very lightly with it. That's alright, she's allowed to investigate it. Find it's not edible, so it becomes way less exciting. So what's that out of 10? 6 or 7 out of 10, so not good enough. Yep, so we just keep going really quietly. And you'll notice that while we're doing this, that Sophie and I are staying very close together, and we're staying on the same side of the horse, as you would do, always. when you're handling a horse for a professional of some kind, a farrier or someone to look at its legs or something, you're always staying on the same side. And the other thing we've got on is you can see that we've both got helmets on, because a lot of accidents with horses start on the ground. So she says that's better now. What's that out of 10, so? That's back to a 2 out of 10. So we're just going to give her a little break. And while we give her a little break, I'm going to make this flag a bit scarier. Not too scary. And we're lucky because it's not a windy day. She says that's pretty scary. It's alright, she's allowed to investigate it. She doesn't have to. Sometimes horses like to touch things they're frightened of, but they don't have to. It's not necessary. So Sophie's going to step her forward and backwards next to the slightly unrolled flag. Oh, she says that's quite heavy. So I'm just keeping a visual picture of how far away that flag is, and I'm going to stay there. And you'll see that I'm stepping forwards and backwards with Sophie so that Gigi's not actually removing the flag at any time. And what's that out of 10, Sophie? About a 7 again. We'll just keep doing this, and it'll take the time that it takes. Now we're down to a 4. Still a 4. When she goes down to a 2 out of 10, I'll bring it a bit closer. So now I'm going to just take it. It's alright, she's allowed to investigate it. Really heavy, Sophie says there. Can I just check that? It'll take how long it takes. You can use this technique with horses with needles or clippers or anything really. But just remember you've got to start low threshold. Keep the threshold of adrenaline low. Because once the horse is adrenalised, it's very difficult to go back from there. So we're back after a little break. We've given her a bit of time to process stuff, and we're just going to keep going with our flag. So she's going to investigate it again. So Sophie's going to step her forwards and backwards. The flag's a bit bigger now. See how heavy she is. Oh, that looks really heavy. Just her overshadowed by it. She says that's about a 5 out of 10. So that's not as bad as we've been going. We've been up to about a 7, and the flag's quite a lot bigger. It's quite lucky that it's not a windy day. Just going to make sure it doesn't get any closer to her until she's light, but also I'm going to make sure that nothing that she does makes it get further away from her. Inevitable that she will do a little bit of abduction with that right front leg to take herself away from it. But she's not doing it any more than she was in the beginning, so which suggests to me that that behaviour hasn't been reinforced. Sophie had to increase the pressure a little bit there for a moment. And again. there, so I'm actually just going to quietly pop that against her. That's heavy again. So there are two possibly aversive aspects of this stimuli. One is the look of it, and that one, because it's moving, that can be particularly aversive. And the second is the feel of it. Now, I don't think the feel of it would be particularly aversive to this horse, because she's habituated to rugs and the saddle and that sort of thing. And this is not dissimilar to a rug. So it's quite possibly the look of it. That's getting better. So that's gone down from a 7 to about a 3. Oh, 4 or 5, maybe 8. So it is okay to raise the pressure as long as you've started lightly in the beginning. So she's not going in with an 8 out of 10 pressure at the beginning. She's always giving GP the opportunity to go off the light signal. That's really light now. So I'm going to move this away and unroll it, make it a bit bigger again. That's light, so he says. That's really good. Now I'm going to touch her with it. She says that's really heavy now. That's about a 9 and a 10 out of 10 now. We still don't have adrenaline because she's not too much adrenaline because she's not quickening in the forward steps. That's really good. I'll just sneak it a little bit bigger. You can see the lead rope's loose, so it's not like Sophie's holding her here. As you can see, I'm staying on the left side of her body. We're really only habituated her to the left side. And in the middle of her there. That's really good. I might just take it over the other side so she's got opportunity to see it out of the other eye. You can see she's not shut down, she hasn't been flooded. She's a little bit more alert when it goes onto the right side of her body. Sorry, Gigi. Try not to hit the horse in the head with the stick. You can say she's safely habituated to that now through overshadowing.